Today on the channel, we're going to be reviewing the Phantom Regal Comics, The Phantom issue number 3, and it includes the stories, include the Iron Python and the Prince Rex conspiracy. Now this cover is not one that I'm quite fond of. The colours are right in your face, right in your face. And there's a very scary looking ghost person on this cover. The Phantom, the hero. It's 2 stories of absolutely awesomeness, so let's get into it. And most importantly, it's in colour. So we have the story number 1, The Iron Python, the Phantom, created by Lee Falk. And this story has been wrote by Tony DePaul. The art for this has been done by Graham Nolan, and the cover art, I hope I don't butcher this name. The cover art has been done by Abil Lash Jacko. I think I butchered his name. In most Phantom comics done by Regal publishers, we usually have like a reader's sort of thing that tells the reader what the Phantom is, who he is, and what the comic book series is about, what the comic book strip is about, and pretty much just a little detail bit of who he is, how he is, and what he does, and what the comic strip is about. So we start this story with a lone survivor of a pirate attack swears an oath of the skull of on his father's killer to fight privacy, cruelty, and injustice. He became the first Phantom. More than 400 years later, the 21st Phantom honors that oath still in the deepest jungles of Ivory Lana. Bengala's peaceful neighbor, a girl hears an unnatural sound in the jungle. Toot toot! What a terrible noise. No jungle creature makes such a racket. Here her ancestors carved a mark, a warning to go no further. It is forbidden to go beyond here, but someone might need help. The old people tell stories of this thing, the path of the Iron Python. And that's the start of the Iron Python. Toot 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 toot. A dark shape moves, rumbling, and suddenly the jungle is cleaved in two. By the gods, a machine fells everything in its path, opening up a 19th century, right of the way through the deepest jungles of Ivory Lana. Listen, they come. Chugga chugga, chugga chugga, chugga chugga, chugga chugga, whoop whoop. Oh, that's fun. It's fun doing that voiceover stuff. So this story is about how this supposedly Iron Python is going through the deepest, hardest jungles of Ivory Lana. And the narrative for this story is very, very intriguing. The Phantom hears of this supposedly Iron Python, these people that are supposedly from the 18th and 19th century. And he thinks, well, hang on a second, this doesn't sound right. Ghost trains aren't a thing, are they? So the Phantom, he goes and checks it out. He hops on board of the train and he finds out that maybe the 19th, 18th century people are actually real ghosts. No. Hang on. Hang to your horses. No, they're just real people just wearing ghost masks. Like, who Who does that? Who dress up like ghosts? The Phantom doesn't, because he's a Marx. Is he a Marx bandit? No, he's a guy that saves people. He's a guy that deals at justice where served. And then he questions people. No one answers. He takes people out. He goes, thwack! Oh! He's down. Make sure he stays down. Get rid of the troublemaker, quick, through the window. And the Phantom, rudely received on the ghost train, crashes out of the window of the ghost train. But he's still hanging on. They try and shoot him down. He is knocked to the ground. He runs and he gets back onto the train. He takes them all out. They go back to where they are supposed to go. They are paid, and the Phantom works out that rather that the ghost train is actually putting lethal chemicals into the nearby state, and which is illegal. You cannot put chemicals and pollution into a nearby state. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? But the Phantom stops it all from happening. He makes them walk back to their country, and the train is no longer a thing. He makes them walk back. The train crashes back into the station. Choo-choo! And tell the tale of the ghost who walks. They mated the ghost who walks. They fatally went on the wrong side of the ghost who walks, and they tell their tale of a ghost who walks. The end. The Phantom, the second story, the Prince Rex conspiracy. This story has been wrote by Tony DePaul. And now, let me just get this right. So this type of storyline where it involves Prince Rex and it involves trying to take his leadership out of his hands. It's just this storyline and this narrative has been used that many times in... Lee Falk was the first person to use this story narrative. It has been rewashed, it has been put into a washing machine, and it has been spat out that many times that you wouldn't even believe it, how many times I've heard this storyline, and I've read this storyline many times, and it's just been spat out like you putting the dishes in a washing machine. That's how it is. There's a lot of these storylines that have been published in the last 30 to 40 years of this comic strip still being alive, and even after Lee Falk unfortunately passed away, this storyline keeps getting rewashed and reprinted and redone. Some storylines, yeah, they might be great for like a one-time purpose or a second-time purpose, and then revisited like 4, 3, 5 different times. You get a bit sick of it. That's not saying like the daily strip isn't getting rewashed. Sometimes it is, but like people you see on the Facebook pages, like where a person might comment on the daily script and they might say, this storyline, this saga has been going on for so long. Well, we don't really get a choice whether how long a story is going to go for, or how long a saga is going to go for, or what the art's going to be looking like, and we don't get a choice if a story is rewashed so many goddamn times, and we just gotta put up with it. We just gotta read it, and maybe in the future, when another fan comes along and starts reading the Phantom comics, as we did when we were a bit younger, and it was maybe a bit different, maybe they might have a different opinion on what we had when it was going on. Someone in the future might have a different opinion, And most likely that would be, they would have a differing opinion, and most likely it would be a fresh perspective on it. And that's okay. As I said, we don't get a choice on how long a story goes for, what it looks like, and how it's going to end. We just roll with it. We just roll with it, and we just read it. That's pretty much all we're here for. We're rating Phantom comics, and we enjoy them. If you don't want to read the latest dailies or the latest Sundays, you can choose not to, and that's a choice that you make. That's a choice I make with reading Phantom comics, and I love reading Phantom comics. It's one of my all-time favorite things to do. On another note, another serious note, we have a new story, Prince Rex Conspiracy. And this story it's fascinating to a point, and it's actually, in some points in this storyline, they've actually changed it up, so it's a bit more fresher than the good old staleness. This is fresher than a stale old biscuit. They've actually had fresh ideas to the staleness. Staleness. Fresh. How old, Rex? My personal guard, Captain Lara, 18, I guess. And this story actually follows on to the next one, which reluctantly is called The Love Triangle. And that was a good story too. And that's in issue number 5 of this series, which you will be seeing a review of that comic very, very soon on the channel. There's 3 people, and they're despising against the Prince Rex. They're not doing anything. They're harming our king. They're harming the prince. And it falls out bad for them because the prince feels unwell. There's only 3 people that are unwell. The Phantom works out that actually there's someone despising, someone trying to take over the kingdom. And he destroys them. The Prince Rex comes back with thriving health, and they are sent to prison. Well, and his method of returning lies. His method of returning us to an ideal place. 21st century germ warfare. Ha ha. Now you know, Rex fanatics embrace dogma to control others, never themselves. And the last panel reads, Alpine Meadows, at the foot of the misty mountains. Hero, old boy, you fared well. Old Rex said I should mention that horse was chosen by the fetching Captain Lara just for you. And maybe Toma is in love. Maybe. The end. And that is my startling, maybe a little bit serious review of the Phantom. Regal publishes the Phantom issue number 3, and that cover is still very, very spooky.
And as always, keep Phantom caving, stay safe, and keep on keeping on, and we'll see you later on another Phantom Cave review. Bye.